Wow, wow! Liz and Bryce are begging money from fans for their dream wedding and honeymoon. And finally, very exciting news leaked. Seven Little Johnstons star Bryce Bolden's wife, Elizabeth Johnston, pregnant. Elizabeth expecting new twin baby. I will explain everything. Hello, everyone. Today, we have news that is sure to bring a smile to your face and a tear to your eye. It's a story of love, family, and the beautiful, unexpected blessings that life can bring. We've seen Elizabeth blossom from a confident young girl into a remarkable young woman. We've cheered her on as she pursued her passion for nursing, and we've swooned over her fairy tale romance with her longtime boyfriend, the ever-charming Bryce Bolden. Their love story has been a central and beloved storyline on the show, a real-life example of high school sweethearts who have built a deep and lasting connection. Fans have been eagerly anticipating the next chapter for this beautiful couple. We've wondered, when will they take the next step? When will Bryce pop the question? And of course, the question that has been on everyone's mind, when will they start a family of their own? Well, the wait is over. The moment we've all been hoping for is finally here. And it's bigger, more joyful, and more miraculous than any of us could have ever imagined. Today, we are ecstatic to confirm the news that has the entire Seven Little Johnstons community buzzing with excitement. Elizabeth Johnston and Bryce Bolden are not only expecting their first child, they are expecting twins. This is the story of how Elizabeth and Bryce discovered they were expecting, the emotional moment they shared the news with their families, and the incredible journey they are now on as they prepare to welcome two new babies into their lives. This is a story you won't want to miss. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this wonderful news, we have to go back to the beginning. The love story of Elizabeth Johnston and Bryce Bolden is one that has unfolded right before our very eyes. It all started in high school. A classic tale of young love. They were just teenagers when they first met, navigating the awkward and exciting world of first dates and blossoming feelings. We saw their connection deepen over the years, a steady and comforting presence in each other's lives. Bryce quickly became a fan favorite. His quiet strength, his unwavering support for Elizabeth, and his easygoing nature made him a perfect fit for the lively and often chaotic Johnston household. He wasn't just Elizabeth's boyfriend, he was becoming a part of the family. One of the most touching aspects of their relationship has always been their open and honest communication. On Seven Little Johnstons, we've seen them have serious conversations about their future. They've talked about marriage, careers, and the possibility of having children. Elizabeth, with her characteristic thoughtfulness, has always been candid about her desires and her fears. She has spoken openly about her own experiences with achondroplasia and the potential challenges of pregnancy for a little person. She has also expressed her deep desire to be a mother, to share the same kind of love and support that her own parents, Amber and Trent, have always given her. Bryce, in his wonderfully supportive way, has always been right there by her side, listening, reassuring her, and making it clear that he is ready to face any challenge as long as they are together. Who can forget the incredibly romantic moment when Bryce gave Elizabeth the promise ring? Bryce, this is my promise to you, for our future. A promise that I'll always be here for you, and that one day we'll get married and have a family. That single moment solidified what we all already knew. This was a love that was built to last. It was a promise of a future that is now unfolding in the most beautiful way possible. In recent seasons, we've seen them take another significant step in their relationship, moving in together. This was a huge milestone, a chance for them to experience life as a couple in a whole new way. They've been building a home, a life, and a future piece by piece. And now that future is about to get a whole lot busier, a whole lot louder, and a whole lot more love-filled. So how did this incredible journey to parenthood begin? According to our sources close to the family, the first inklings of a pregnancy were subtle, as they so often are. It all started a few months ago. Elizabeth, who is known for her energy and her busy schedule as a nurse, began feeling unusually tired. At first, she brushed it off as the result of long shifts at the hospital and the general stress of everyday life. But then, other signs began to appear. A heightened sense of smell that made her favorite food suddenly unappealing. A wave of nausea in the mornings that she initially attributed to a bad cup of coffee. Her mother, Amber, with her years of experience and her sharp maternal instincts, was one of the first to notice that something was different. She saw a change in her daughter, a new softness in her eyes, a slight weariness that went beyond just being tired from work. A source tells us that Amber gently broached the subject with Elizabeth one afternoon when they were having a quiet moment together. "You seem a little different lately, honey," she reportedly said. "Are you feeling okay?" Elizabeth, at that point, was starting to have her own suspicions. She confided in her mother that she was a few weeks late, but she was hesitant to get her hopes up. She and Bryce had been talking more and more seriously about starting a family, but they knew that it might not happen right away. With her mother's encouragement, Elizabeth decided it was time to take a pregnancy test. But she didn't want to do it alone. This was a moment she had to share with Bryce. That evening, with a mixture of nervousness and excitement, she told Bryce about her suspicions. His reaction, as always, was one of pure love and support. He held her close, reassured her that no matter the outcome, they were in this together. And so they took the test. Those few minutes of waiting must have felt like an eternity. The fate of their future, the beginning of their family, all hanging in the balance. And then 2 pink lines. Positive. In that small, quiet bathroom, a new chapter of their lives began. We're told that the moment was filled with tears of joy, with whispered words of love and disbelief. They were going to be parents. Their dream, the one they had been nurturing for so long, was finally coming true. They held each other for a long time, letting the reality of the news sink in. A baby. Their baby. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated happiness, a private celebration for 2 hearts that were now beating for 3. But the surprises were far from over. In fact, the biggest one was yet to come. The first doctor's appointment is a monumental occasion for any expecting couple. It's the moment when the abstract idea of a baby becomes a tangible reality. It's the first time you hear the heartbeat, the first time you see the tiny flicker of life on a screen. For Elizabeth and Bryce, this appointment was even more significant. Given Elizabeth's achondroplasia, her pregnancy would be considered high risk. They went into the appointment with a list of questions, prepared to discuss all the potential challenges and to create a plan for a safe and healthy pregnancy. They were met with a team of compassionate and knowledgeable doctors who reassured them that they would be in excellent hands throughout the entire journey. Elizabeth, with her nursing background, was an active participant in the conversation, her knowledge and calm demeanor impressing everyone in the room. And then it was time for the ultrasound. The room was quiet as the sonographer moved the transducer over Elizabeth's belly. Elizabeth and Bryce stared at the monitor, their eyes searching for the tiny shape of their baby. And then they saw it. A small, pulsating flicker. The heartbeat, strong and steady. A wave of relief and emotion washed over them. Tears welled up in Elizabeth's eyes as she squeezed Bryce's hand. He leaned over and kissed her forehead, his own eyes misty. The doctor smiled warmly. "Everything looks great," she said. "The heartbeat is strong, and the baby is measuring right on track." But then the sonographer paused. She moved the transducer again, her brow furrowed in concentration. She typed a few things on the keyboard, took some measurements, and then looked over at the doctor with a knowing glance. A moment of anxiety filled the air. Elizabeth and Bryce exchanged a worried look. Was something wrong? The doctor's professional demeanor softened into a wide, beaming smile. She turned to the anxious couple and said the words that would change their lives forever. "Mr. Bolden, Ms. Johnston, I hope you're ready for a big adventure." She pointed to the screen. "You see this little flicker here? That's baby A." Then she moved the transducer slightly. "And this little flicker over here? That's baby B." Silence. Stunned, absolute silence. Elizabeth and Bryce just stared at the screen, their minds trying to process what they had just heard. Not one baby, but two. Twins. They were having twins. According to our source, Bryce was the first to break the silence. A slow, incredulous smile spread across his face, followed by a soft, disbelieving laugh. "Are you serious?" he whispered. Elizabeth was in a state of happy shock. Tears were now streaming down her face, but they were tears of pure, overwhelming joy. Twins. The word echoed in her mind. It was more than they had ever dared to hope for. The doctor explained that it was still early, but both babies appeared to be healthy, each with a strong heartbeat. They were likely fraternal twins, each with their own amniotic sac and placenta. The rest of the appointment was a blur of happy tears, laughter, and excited questions. The initial anxieties about a high-risk pregnancy were now overshadowed by the incredible news of two babies. They left the doctor's office in a daze, clutching the ultrasound photos that were the first pictures of their children. They sat in their car in the parking lot for a long time, just looking at each other, laughing, and trying to wrap their heads around the fact that their family was not just growing by one, but by two. The promised ring that Bryce had given Elizabeth all that time ago was a promise of a family. Little did they know that fate had a grander, more abundant plan in store for them all along. The drive back to the Johnston house was filled with a new kind of energy. Elizabeth and Bryce had a secret, a wonderful, life-altering secret, and they couldn't wait to share it with the people they loved most. Deciding how to tell Trent and Amber and the rest of the Johnston clan was a big deal. This wasn't just any news. This was the first pregnancy among the Johnston children, and it was twins. They knew the reaction would be priceless. They decided to do it that very evening. They gathered everyone in the living room under the pretense of having a family meeting. As everyone settled down, a sense of anticipation filled the room. Trent and Amber, ever perceptive, could tell that something was up. Elizabeth and Bryce were practically vibrating with nervous energy. Elizabeth took a deep breath and stood up, Bryce right by her side, his hand on the small of her back. "So," she began, her voice a little shaky, "Bryce and I have some news to share with you all." All eyes were on them. Jonah, Anna, Alex, and Emma leaned forward, their curiosity piqued. Elizabeth looked at Bryce, who gave her an encouraging nod. She then turned to her parents. "Mom, Dad, you're going to be grandparents." The words hung in the air for a second before they were met with an eruption of joy. Amber was the first to react, letting out a scream of pure delight as she leaped up from her chair and rushed to embrace her daughter. Trent was right behind her, his face breaking into a huge, proud grin as he wrapped both Elizabeth and Amber in a big bear hug. There were tears, there was laughter, there was a chorus of congratulations from the siblings. Jonah, the older brother, clapped Bryce on the back with a wide smile. Anna and Emma were squealing with excitement, already planning all the ways they would spoil their new niece or nephew. Alex, with his quiet charm, offered a heartfelt "Congratulations, guys. That's awesome." The living room was filled with so much love and happiness, but Elizabeth and Bryce weren't done yet. They had one more surprise up their sleeves. Once the initial excitement had calmed down a little, Elizabeth held up her hand. Wait," she said, a playful smile on her face. "There's more." She handed her mother the envelope containing the ultrasound photos. Amber, her eyes still glistening with happy tears, carefully opened it. She pulled out the first photo and smiled. "Oh, look at the little bean," she said lovingly. But then she saw the second photo, and the notations. Baby A and Baby B. Her eyes went wide. She looked from the photo to Elizabeth, and back to the photo again. Her jaw dropped. "No," she whispered, her voice filled with disbelief. "Are you serious?" Trent, curious about his wife's reaction, came over to look. He saw the two distinct shapes on the ultrasound, and his reaction was just as priceless. He let out a loud, booming laugh of pure shock and joy. "Twins?" he bellowed, his voice echoing through the house. The room erupted once again, this time with a level of excitement that was off the charts. The Johnston siblings were screaming, jumping up and down, and peppering the happy couple with a million questions. "No way. You're kidding me." Two of them. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated chaos and joy, a classic Johnston family celebration, amplified by the incredible news of two new babies on the way. Amber, a mother of 5, and soon to be a grandmother of 2, was overjoyed. She has always been the heart of the family, the steady hand guiding her children through life. The thought of 2 new grandbabies to love and nurture filled her with an immense sense of happiness. Trent, the proud papa, was already in grandpa mode. You could see him mentally planning all the projects he would build for his new grandchildren, all the life lessons he would teach them. For the Johnston siblings, the news was just as thrilling. They are an incredibly close-knit group, and the idea of becoming aunts and uncles was a new and exciting role for them to step into. The family that had started with 7 was about to become a family of 9. After sharing the news with their immediate family, the next step for Elizabeth and Bryce was to share it with the world. As public figures with a massive and dedicated fan base, they knew that the announcement would be met with a wave of love and support. They decided to make the announcement on their social media platforms, sharing the same beautiful photo from their professional photo shoot. The caption was simple, heartfelt, and full of joy. And then there were 4. "We are so excited, blessed, and a little bit terrified to announce that we are expecting 2 lions. Our hearts are already so full of love for these 2 little miracles. We can't wait to start this next chapter of our lives and become a family. Thank you for all your love and support on our journey." The response was instantaneous and overwhelming. Within minutes, the post was flooded with thousands of likes and comments. Fans from all over the world poured out their congratulations and well wishes. The news spread like wildfire across social media platforms, with fan pages, news outlets, and fellow reality TV stars all sharing in the excitement. The comments were a testament to the impact that Elizabeth, Bryce, and the entire Johnston family have had on their viewers. One fan wrote, "I've been watching you since you were a little girl. Elizabeth, I feel like I'm watching my own family grow. I am so happy for you and Bryce. You are going to be the most amazing parents to those 2 lucky babies." Another commented, "This is the best news ever. Twins. The Johnston house is about to get even more fun. Congratulations, you 2. You deserve all the happiness in the world." While the news of the twin pregnancy is a source of immense joy, it also comes with its own set of unique challenges. A twin pregnancy, for any woman, is automatically considered high risk. For Elizabeth, who has achondroplasia, the risks are even more significant. Achondroplasia is a form of dwarfism that affects bone growth. It can lead to a number of health complications, and when it comes to pregnancy, there are specific concerns that need to be carefully monitored. These can include respiratory issues, as the growing uterus puts pressure on the lungs, an increased risk of C-section due to the size of the baby's heads in relation to the mother's pelvis, and the higher likelihood of premature labor. Elizabeth, with her nursing background, is well aware of these risks. She and Bryce have had extensive conversations with their medical team to create a comprehensive care plan. They are working with specialists who have experience with pregnancies in women with skeletal dysplasia. We're told that Elizabeth is being monitored very closely, with frequent checkups, ultrasounds, and consultations with various specialists. Her health and the health of her 2 babies is the #1 priority. But if there is one thing we know about Elizabeth Johnston, it's that she is a fighter. She is strong, resilient, and incredibly proactive when it comes to her health. She is approaching this pregnancy with the same determination and grace that she has approached every other challenge in her life. She is focusing on staying healthy, eating a nutritious diet, getting plenty of rest, and listening to her body. And she has the most incredible support system in the world. Bryce has been an absolute rock. He is by her side at every appointment. He is taking on more of the household chores to ensure that Elizabeth can rest, and he is a constant source of emotional support. His calm and steady presence is exactly what Elizabeth needs during this time. And then, of course, there is the entire Johnston clan. Amber, with her wealth of experience and her nurturing spirit, is a constant source of guidance and support. Trent is always there to offer a helping hand or a word of encouragement, and her siblings are rallying around her, offering to help in any way they can. This journey may have its challenges, but Elizabeth is not walking it alone. She is surrounded by an army of love, a family that will lift her up and support her every step of the way. Another important question on everyone's mind is the genetics of it all. Will the twins have achondroplasia? As we know from the show, Amber and Trent both have achondroplasia. Their children, however, have a mix of achondroplasia and average height. Jonah and Elizabeth have achondroplasia, while Anna, Alex, and Emma do not. The genetics are complex. If a person with achondroplasia has a child with an average-sized person, there is a 50% chance that the child will inherit the gene for achondroplasia. In the case of Elizabeth and Bryce, since Elizabeth has achondroplasia and Bryce is of average height, each of their babies has a 50-50 chance of having achondroplasia. This means there are a few possibilities. Both babies could have achondroplasia, both could be average-sized, or one could have achondroplasia and the other could be average-sized. Elizabeth and Bryce have been very open about their feelings on this topic. They have said that they will love their children unconditionally, whether they are little people or average-sized. They are, after all, experts in creating a loving and supportive environment for children of all sizes. The Johnston household is a perfect example of this. Their main focus is on a healthy pregnancy and the safe delivery of their two babies. The rest is in the hands of fate, and they are prepared to embrace whatever outcome they are blessed with. With the news of twins, the nesting phase has kicked into high gear for Elizabeth and Bryce, and for the entire Johnston family. Preparing for one baby is a big undertaking. Preparing for two is a whole new level of planning and organization. The first big project, the nursery. Elizabeth and Bryce have a room in their home that they are transforming into a magical space for their two little ones. We've heard whispers that they are going for a neutral, calming theme. Think soft grays, gentle greens, and warm, woody accents. A serene oasis for their babies to grow and thrive in. And you know that Trent, the master of DIY, is heavily involved. We can just picture him now, tools in hand, building custom cribs that are perfectly sized and accessible for Elizabeth. He'll probably build a changing table that is ergonomically designed for her as well. Trent's love language is acts of service, and you can bet that he is pouring all of his love and excitement into creating a beautiful and functional nursery for his grandchildren. And then there's the shopping. 2 car seats, 2 high chairs, 2 of everything. The Johnston family is known for their practicality and their love of a good bargain. We can imagine Amber leading the charge, creating detailed lists and hunting for the best deals on diapers, wipes, and all the other baby essentials. Anna and Emma are no doubt in charge of the fun stuff. The adorable matching outfits, the soft blankets, and the cute nursery decor. They are going to be the most stylish aunts on the block. Beyond the physical preparations, Elizabeth and Bryce are also preparing themselves mentally and emotionally for the journey ahead. They have been reading books on twin parenting, talking to other parents of multiples, and, of course, getting lots of advice from the seasoned pros, Amber and Trent. They are a team in the truest sense of the word. They are communicating openly about their hopes and fears. They are dividing up the responsibilities, and they are making sure to cherish these precious moments before their lives are turned upside down in the most wonderful way. We can't wait to see this all play out on the next season of 7 Little Johnstons. The nursery reveal, the baby shower, all the heartwarming and hilarious moments of preparation. It's going to be must-see TV. The arrival of Elizabeth and Bryce's twins marks a new era for the Johnston family. It's the beginning of a new generation, the first grandchildren for Amber and Trent. This is a profound and beautiful moment for any family, but it feels especially poignant for the Johnstons. We have watched their family grow and evolve over the years, and now, we get to witness the joy of them stepping into their new roles as grandparents, aunts, and uncles. Amber and Trent have always put their family first. They have dedicated their lives to raising 5 confident, kind, and independent children. They have taught them the importance of hard work, resilience, and unconditional love. Now they get to pass on that wisdom and love to a new generation. Imagine the Johnston house, already so full of life and laughter, with 2 new babies in the mix. The holidays, the family vacations, the everyday moments, everything will be amplified with the addition of these 2 precious souls. The twins will grow up surrounded by an incredible amount of love and support. They will have 2 amazing parents in Elizabeth and Bryce. They will have doting grandparents who will spoil them rotten. And they will have a built-in team of adoring aunts and uncles who will always be there to play with them, protect them, and cheer them on. They will also grow up in a unique and wonderful environment where being different is celebrated. They will learn from a young age that love, family, and character are what truly matter, not size. This news also opens up exciting new storylines for 7 Little Johnstons. Fans will be eager to follow Elizabeth's pregnancy journey, to witness the birth of the twins, and to see how the entire family adapts to these new additions. Will we see more of Bryce's family and how they are preparing to be grandparents? How will Jonah, Anna, Alex, and Emma embrace their new roles as aunts and uncles? And, of course, how will Elizabeth and Bryce navigate the chaotic, exhausting, and incredibly rewarding world of being parents to newborn twins? So, as we close out this special report, we want to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Elizabeth, Bryce, and the entire Johnston family. This is a time of immense joy, a time of new beginnings, and a time of abundant blessings. We are all so incredibly happy for you, and we cannot wait to meet the 2 little miracles who are on their way. We will be following this story closely, and we will be sure to bring you all the latest updates as Elizabeth's pregnancy progresses. We're hoping for a gender reveal soon, and we can only imagine the fun and creative way the Johnstons will share that news with the world. What do you think? Will it be 2 boys, 2 girls, or 1 of each? Let us know your predictions in the comments below. More update: 7 Little Johnstons. Liz and Bryce are begging money from fans for their dream wedding and honeymoon. And did haters push Liz Johnston to shut off comments? 7 Little Johnstons. Does Liz secretly hate being a little person? I will explain everything. 7 Little Johnstons. Liz and Bryce are begging money from fans for their dream wedding and honeymoon. It seems like 7 Little Johnstons fans are helping Liz and Bryce pay for their dream wedding and honeymoon. They have set November 8th as the date for their wedding. But it appears like the TLC star is pleading with her fans to pay for her ideal wedding and honeymoon. Not inviting Anna to their wedding already got Liz and Bryce in trouble. The family feud has been a source of fascination for viewers for months. Throughout her sister's argument, Liz said nothing and remained silent. At her engagement, she even ignored Anna. Even though Anna wasn't there, the reality TV star was overjoyed to share engagement photos with Bryce. Their fans are taken aback by the latest news regarding the couple's wedding preparations. Are their fans being scammed? They want fans to do what? For months, Liz and Bryce have been busy making preparations for their wedding. An online wedding invitation they sent out fueled speculation about a possible nuptial. On one website, the 7 Little Johnston stars are outlining their whole lives. Fans couldn't believe it when Anna's name wasn't listed on the wedding guest list. In it, Liz and Bryce announced that Emma would be serving as the bridesmaid, while Jonah and Alex were named groomsmen. To everyone's surprise, Anna's name was omitted off the wedding guest list. The couple was harshly and self-centeredly criticized by fans. When Anna was a tiny kid, Amber and Trent took her in as their own. Making sure she was happy and comfortable was the family's job. Anna and the family's relationship has not been going swimmingly recently. Many viewers now attribute the family's estrangement from Liz and her sister to her actions. The wedding of Liz and Bryce is becoming more and more of a contentious event. The revelation of the couple's fresh wedding details has taken 7 Little Johnstons followers by surprise. A Reddit user recently linked to the happy couple's Honey Fund wedding register. They asked their loved ones to send them donations so they may have the wedding and honeymoon of their dreams. They requested their guests to give money using Amazon gift cards, and to everyone's surprise, they made the details public. As a wedding gift, they requested for a minimum donation of $75. Curiously, the majority of the comments were critical, with viewers accusing Liz and Bryce of deceiving them. All they want is Amazon gift cards or cash for their wedding, the OP wrote. Because of this, many were curious as to whether the happy couple intended their admirers to pay for their lavish nuptials. Limfowl the Be Nicer to Anna comment in the guest book, one fan wrote, "The fact that other commenters told Bryce to get away from Liz was pointed out by another user. No one congratulated Liz and Bryce on their wedding, which shocked the fans. They are betting on fans gifting them a ton of money," another person said. Many others were critical of Liz and Bryce for hoping that their admirers would pay for their extravagant wedding. No word yet from Liz and Bryce on whether it's true or not. Did haters push Liz Johnston to shut off comments? Many were kind when 7 Little Johnston star Elizabeth Liz Johnston had her daughter with Bryce Bolden in November, but she has recently disabled comments on her social media posts. Fans of TLC are understandably curious as to her motivations for doing that. Read on to discover additional details. Fans of 7 Little Johnstons are of the opinion that the baby has ensured the long-term viability of the TLC show and that the addition of new content prevented its cancellation. People thought she stayed with the reality show she wanted to see when she said she would continue filming. By now, Liz Johnston ought to be aware that reality TV performers frequently experience trolling. But there hadn't been much animosity against her. The baby is adorable after all. But some folks couldn't help but comment on how she wasn't immediately married to Bryce. The fact that Leighton Drew Bolden's parents' disabled comments on Instagram was noticed by TLC fans. She also retraced her steps quite a bit. She appears to have ignored her TLC fans entirely. Nobody else can leave a comment except close friends and relatives. An OP on Reddit was so perplexed as to why. Turned off comments, they stated. For whatever reason, Liz no longer comments on Instagram posts. Is it excessive to say baby trap? The fact that Liz Johnston chose to have her life documented on reality TV and her right to privacy were two of the main points of contention among the TLC viewers in the conversation. Why? Because every single one of those elderly Southern women couldn't stop gushing over their pearls and exclaiming, "I can't believe I missed the wedding episode. Peace is what she wants." That she properly deserves, particularly in light of the hurtful comments others have made about her. She really ought not to have shared her story on national television, did she? The show has helped her much, but the criticism has been too much. She gave her informed approval to go on a reality show now that she's an adult. Yes, she did give up some privacy when she consented to be a reality TV star after becoming legal adulthood. Inevitably, you will face unpleasant situations in the course of your work. As you pump milk and nurse your baby, no one wants to see comments. It's Elizabeth Liz Johnston's decision to disable comments something you can get behind. Being on the TLC show is like a job, so do you think she should turn them on again? Is her right to privacy being violated? 7 Little Johnstons, Liz Johnston true baby timeline called out. In the premiere of Season 14, Liz Johnston and Bryce Bolden's breakup is revealed in 7 Little Johnston spoilers. In the same season, Liz goes to the hospital to give birth to Bryce's baby. As a result, many people are beginning to doubt the baby timing. Liz Johnston and Bryce Bolden may have broken up, according to internet rumors. After Liz removed Bryce from all of her social media accounts, fans assumed the couple had broken up. The couple broke up, according to previews for the next season of 7 Little Johnstons. As these next scenes will undoubtedly offer some background on the matter, it looks that all that fans of 7 Little Johnstons suspected about this circumstance has indeed occurred. Trent Johnston is inspired to teach Jonah and Alex the lost art of handwritten love letters after Liz and Bryce's breakup. Evidently, the whole Johnston family felt the effects of this divorce. Liz Johnston's most recent social media posts might lead one to believe that she and Bryce Bolden have broken up. Leighton Bolden, their daughter who was born in November 2023, is the center of attention these days. All of Liz Johnston's recent social media updates have, unsurprisingly, been about her kid. Furthermore, it appears that Liz and Bryce's relationship is stronger than before. Whatever it was that they did to make their connection stronger, it obviously worked. Liz is Bryce's daughter, and he has made it clear that he is completely committed to her and their new family of 3. Many viewers are curious about when exactly Liz will give birth, given that she and Bryce split up at the start of 7 Little Johnston season 14, and that Liz gives birth that same season. This whole situation is up for grabs, from the fact that Liz was pregnant when they broke up to the possibility that she had an anchor baby and trapped Bryce. Trent and Amber are quite conservative in their views on marriage. If the baby was an unforeseen pregnancy, it's easy to see them pressuring Bryce to do the right thing and stay for the baby. Reacting to rumors that Liz was pregnant when she and Bryce broke up, either Trent or Amber wrote, "Incorrect," on the official 7 Little Johnston's Instagram, dispelling the rumors. She sped up the delivery. A lot of admirers think the 7 Little Johnstons are trying to conveniently wrap up loose ends with this social media answer, but not everyone is buying it. Many people assume that Liz and Bryce were not together when she got pregnant, considering all of her heartbreaking breakup tweets and her decision to remove Bryce from her social media accounts. On the other hand, she might have been unknowingly pregnant when they broke up. The fact that Liz became pregnant soon after reconciling with Bryce is another plausible explanation. The bulk of viewers think Liz's pregnancy chronology is questionable nevertheless. Liz's baby Leighton is growing up so fast. Check out new milestone. 7 fans were ecstatic when Little Johnston star Liz Johnston welcomed her kid Leighton on the show. Many viewers had been waiting patiently for the moment they could see Liz give birth and Leighton appear on film, and they were not disappointed. Many were even wondering if TLC will sneak a peek of Leighton into the season finale. When the precious newborn finally arrived, the wait had been worthwhile. After such a heartwarming season finale, Liz has been updating fans with adorable Leighton images. Photos of Liz's newborn daughter have taken over her social media accounts. She recently announced Leighton's remarkable achievement on social media with a special post. Where did she go from there? Let's investigate. The 14th season finale of 7 Little Johnstons finally introduced viewers to Leighton after months of waiting. Since TLC frequently exaggerates plot points, many were skeptical about Leighton's debut on the show. Some even thought the network was trying to pull a Liz by dragging out the news of her pregnancy until the next season. To the delight of the spectators, though, Leighton emerged from the delivery room, embraced by Liz. Reality program episodes do not run in real time on TLC, even though Leighton's birth has only been broadcast a few weeks ago. In November 2023, Leighton came into this world. Ever since, Liz has been constantly posting pictures of her daughter on social media, particularly Instagram, where she shares the cutest moments with her little one. Leighton celebrated her 9-month birthday not long ago. Liz took her family on a beach getaway to celebrate the milestone. Leighton and her father Bryce saw a carousel of captivating photos from her vacation, which she shared with them. The pictures showed Liz and Bryce having a lovely time at the beach. Next, we see Leighton and Liz posing in onesie sets that include blue florals and pink stripes. In another video that Liz uploaded, Leighton is seen trying to stand on the beach as her toes are wet. The 7 Little Johnstons embraced their lovely daughter in a heartwarming video. A beautiful family portrait of the 3 of them at the beach served as the slideshow's finale. The caption that Liz added to the image said, "Our little beach bum turned 9 months old, and she absolutely loved the beach." Many 7 Little Johnstons viewers are so preoccupied with Liz's nursing degree that they question her licensure as a nurse. Despite Liz's nursing degree, she does not appear to hold the title of registered nurse. There is no record of her on the website for the Georgia Board of Nursing either. Regardless, Liz is family and she insists on calling herself a nurse. Even Trent said she had finished and passed her boards at one point. Fans, though, are still not convinced. Some fans have dismissed the topic, but it has recently resurfaced. On Reddit, one fan made the observation that Liz's profession is mostly unknown, while others provided more in-depth analysis. A viewer made the observation that the show would have highlighted Liz's NCLEX results if she had taken them. Everyone thought the 7 Little Johnstons were making Liz's qualifications for a TLC narrative up. 7 Little Johnstons Does Liz secretly hate being a little person? Seeing the daily life of the young Johnston family is the whole point of the TLC show 7 Young Johnstons. But does Liz Johnston harbor any hidden animosity for her diminutive stature? So say a few viewers of TLC. When it comes to documenting the lives of little people, Little People Big World has been a regular on TLC. In addition, shows such as The Little Couple kept on air. Nevertheless, 7 Tiny Johnstons has stepped up to the plate to provide TLC with tiny people programming, as The Little Couple has been canceled and the future of LPBW is questionable. From its 2015 debut to its current 14th season, 7 Little Johnstons has kept viewers enthralled. Many fans believe that Liz Johnston harbors a secret hatred for her diminutive stature, despite the fact that her family show revolves around little people and their daily life. A number of TLC viewers have taken note of Liz Johnston's numerous acts of defiance during the 7 seasons of 7 Little Johnstons. First of all, Trent and Amber Johnston have been quite clear that they want their kids to make friends with other kids their age. Whenever the Little People of America conference rolls around, they make sure to emphasize this. Every year, a large number of small people from all around the nation gather for this yearly event. Liz Johnston had a kid with Bryce Bolden, though, as viewers of 7 Little Johnstons are aware. Bryce appears to be of average stature. Many of Liz Johnston's admirers have also noted that she boasts about being the tallest member of her family on a frequent basis. The average height given for Liz Johnston is 4 feet and 5 inches. Fans have observed that she never misses a chance to mention that. Countless instances, if one looks for them, demonstrate that Liz Johnston despises her diminutive stature. Viewers have noticed this trend over the seasons of 7 Little Johnstons, and it's clear that many of her relatives have embraced it much more than she has. With all the times she has to mention it, Elizabeth likely has tallest dwarf in the family on her CV, according to one fan who recently made the comment. She is so condescending that she doesn't even bother to declare it. Someone else added, "I agree. The whole family must suffer as a result. If Leiden had been dwarfish, I wonder her reaction." No more today. What are you